Houston, why does that name sound familiar?
Well, you were just here recently and you had all
Not
kinds of
only
fun.
just there, it's the perfect place to play. We had a great time. I am still buzzing from that.
And people are still talking about that. Okay, I got to tell you, this is the third time that I've interviewed you. I interviewed Trisha a couple of weeks ago. If I was a dog and I was looking for a place, I would show up at Trisha and Garth's house.
Garth says sometimes I treat the dogs better than him, but he's taken pretty well care of too. He's fed and watered.
I'm feeling like I'm family. I need an invitation to the Christmas dinner this year.
Honey, come on. And you talk about food. That's where Miss Sherwood kind of specializes everything.
All right, you still find energy to do more things. America's national parks
form a canyon so vast, it creates its own weather. They are the ultimate aerial predators. This fluff ball is demanding.
I've traveled around the world, and I'm always amazed that when I come back home, there's so much more to see here, and it's so varied. Why did you decide to dive into this project?
Well, first of all, you get it, right? So the greatest asset, our strength as this country, is our diversity in our people. Well, the same way when people talk about how beautiful Italy is or Japan is, the national parks in the United States are so diverse from each other that whatever your love is, you can find a park that fits that. So I think that's it. I just think my squareness of patriotism, I love this country. I think that's why they chose Garth Brooks for it.
He gives it his best, but he's no Fred Astaire.
So when people go, hey man, do you hope your fans like this? I'm going to say, I hope everybody that likes Garth Brooks, if there are people out there that like Garth Brooks, love it. And I hope everybody that doesn't like Garth Brooks loves it, because this is about the greatest national treasures that we have that's available to us anytime.
And the great thing about the national parks, you can see the big picture, right? What I always love about it is that when you drive in, sit still, take some time, you even see a big picture in the smallest things. I remember sitting one time in the park and I was staring at an ant, and I just was like, where's that little ant going? He's got something he's got to do right now. It's big life and big picture, but it's also the small picture, and that's what you help us to do. You uncover some things that we might not ever have a chance to see.
Amen. That's Nat Geo at its finest too, right? That's what I love about it. As a viewer, as a narrator, you're a small part of it. The bigger picture you see when it all works together.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing. There's going to be a lot of things about food, a lot of things about fighting, because it is an ecosystem. And the thing is, you're going to see how all this stuff works together. And it's a message we all need to hear, that if we just be ourselves and work with ourselves, then the system can last forever.
You speak about that ecosystem. There's some things that we'll see on camera for the first time.
It's unbelievable. You'll see stuff on here you think only animated drawings could do, right? Especially like Hawai'i. When you see the national parks of Hawaii, it's like, you got to be kidding me. I didn't even dream that was actually existed. And what's cool about the national parks too, and they're going to point this out, is there's going to be species that do not exist anywhere else on the face of the planet.
California condors nearly went extinct. Today, just over 100 rule the skies.
What was the biggest surprise for you?
Well, the biggest surprise for me, because the one national park that I had seen was the Grand Canyon. And I kind of felt sorry. I was like, why are we doing this? Because there's no way the Grand Canyon is going to show up on this screen. I was blown away by the drone footage, just the angle of the cameras. I saw colors in this presentation on film that I didn't see by being either in the canyon or on the rim. And that kind of blew me away. If they can do that with the Grand Canyon, imagine what they can do to these other places you haven't even seen yet.
You spoke earlier about how people can choose places that fit their interests. Juxtapose two different national parks where you can get something different for everybody in the family.
So you got Yosemite, which has the bigness of the Grand Canyon, but at the same time, two totally different stories, right? And then, like I said, Hawaii's crazy. The Badlands are crazy. You see why they call them the Badlands. Then you think it can't get any rougher than that. How about Big Bend in Texas? The courage to make that a preserve way back then, and now the vision of how that's helping our climate, that's how it's helping the whole planet. That's pretty smart. And it's cool that Nat Geo doesn't preach this stuff. They just put it out there for you to pick up.
60 years ago, the bighorns were gone. International efforts have restored them to their rightful place.
Let me wrap up with, so many of us don't like to get out of our convenience. And when you get out to a national park, it creates something different, I think, for the people who are there together, especially for a family. Speak to that.
Well, I think anytime we take ourselves out of the center of anything, we start to realize how small of a part we play, but how important of a part we play. And I think that's what the national parks do. You want to feel small, climb a mountain, right? And that's the thing. When you go into national parks, all of a sudden, people are not the most important thing on the planet. The system itself is that we're all a part of. That comes through restoration, recycle, all that stuff. And that's what I love. And again, man, Nat Geo's not preaching it, but you'll get it out of every one of these segments.
Let the church say amen. I'm from Oklahoma too. Oklahoma's okay. And so are you, Garth Brooks. I'll see you at Christmas dinner.
Well, deal. It's a date. I love you.
All right. Thank you.